Okay, welcome to your 16th CSS and HTML tutorial. In this tutorial, we will be covering the CSS overflow property. Now, the overflow property specifies how much or what part of an element is displayed within another element. It mainly dictates what happens when the content of an element exceeds the original height and width specified for that element. Now, there are four allowed values for the overflow property, that being visible, hidden, scroll, and auto. Now, to demonstrate, the visible being the default value for the overflow property. So let's create two div elements on the page here to illustrate this. Okay, now first div element, we're going to give it an ID of box1, and let's give it a style. Let's say box1. Let's give it a width. Let's give it a width of 300 pixels, and let's give it a height of 300 pixels as well, and let's give it a background color of gray. Control S to save, and let's preview this in the browser. Okay, as you can see here, this is our first box element, and let's within that box element, within that first box element, we're going to create another element. This is going to be our content of our first box element, and we're going to give this element an ID of box2. Okay, and let's give it a CSS style. Let's say box2, and we're going to give it a width of, let's say, 150 pixels and a height of 500 pixels, and let's give it a background color of red, and let's Control S to save this and preview this in the browser. Okay, now this element, the second element we created, is the content of the first element, because box2, which is the second element here, is within box1, our first element. And as you can see here, its default overflow value is visible, meaning that it is visibly shown overflowing in its parent element here, which is box1. Okay, now we can change this. We can give, let's say we change box1's overflow property. We can say overflow hidden. Control S to save, and let's preview this. As you can see here, now it's clipped and it's only showing what's within the specified height and width of our original box element. So anything, if the content of our second box element is greater than the original width and height, it is anything outside of that is clipped, and only what's within those specified dimensions are displayed on the screen. Okay, we can also have overflow scroll. Okay, Control S to save, and as you can see here, it is not clipped. However, the original element is given a scroll bar, and our second element here is placed within the first one, but it's scrolled. Let's put some text into this to illustrate this clearly. And let's say some text. Control S, and let's copy this down a couple more times. Control S, and let's just copy this again. Okay, Control S to save it and refresh our browser. Okay, as you can see here, right, it's scrollable. Now the entire width, which is of 500 pixels of our second element, is shown within the first element, but the first element has scroll bar, so you can scroll down and left. You can scroll down and up to view the entire height of our second element. Okay, now what if we have the second element? What if the content of the second element exceeds its specified width and height height? So let's add, copy and paste some additional content. Control S, preview it, And as you can see, the second element here, the content of the second element exceeds its original height. So therefore, we're going to have to give we're going to have to give the second element an overflow property as well. So we're going to say overflow. We're going to say scroll. Control S to save it, and let's preview it. And as you can see here, the second property, the content of the second property is shown with a scroll bar within the specified height of that second element. Okay, and now the final element, the final overflow value is auto. Okay, what if let's take this out. Let's take out some of this text right here. Let's take out some more. Control S to save. As you can see here, the contents of the second element does not exceed the specified height of that second element. However, the scroll bars are still shown. Okay, what if you don't want the scroll bars to be shown if the content does not exceed the specified height of the element? What we'll have to do is give it an overflow property of auto. So box 2, we're going to say overflow auto. Control S to save it and refresh it. And as you can see here, the scroll bars are removed. Okay, and the content is shown within the element. Now, what if the content all of a sudden exceeds the height of that element? Then it's gonna simply automatically give in scroll bars. Okay, without us changing a thing, it's gonna automatically be given scroll bars. So let's refresh it, and as you can see here, the element is automatically given scroll bars, and we can scroll down to see the entire height of the content within the element. Okay, so this is the overflow property. Its value, it has 4 main values, which are visible, hidden, scroll, and auto. Okay, so thank you for watching this video tutorial, and ensure that you subscribe, and I'll see you in further tutorials. Thank you.